Hi, I'm Jorge Chapa, and this is my channel. I haven't posted on this channel for quite some time, but I decided that I'd pull out the camera, hit record, and see where it takes me. I figured, I have this channel, and I'm just going to talk and just let my thoughts flow. And I think one of the thoughts that I've been flowing with, or that's been in my mind lately, is am I where I'm supposed to be? Is this where I'm supposed to be in life? Am I supposed to be doing more? Am I supposed to be doing less? Where am I supposed to be? And that is the question I think a lot of us are dealing with. Like, why isn't it happening now? Why hasn't it happened yet? Whatever that is, the big break, the promotion, finding that special someone. And I think one of the things that we have to constantly remind ourselves is where are we in life and what are we doing? I mean, I'm an actor. That's a little background about me. A little thing is that I'm an actor, and I'm in one of the hardest careers I think you can be in terms of working, because we don't work often, and when we do, it's really nice. It's really, really nice. And I do have to preface this story by saying I have been very, very fortunate in this industry to have worked more than most, where I've been consistently working at least once or twice a year. And I know that sounds like, wait a minute, you've only worked once or twice a year. Well, you know they do pay pretty well when they do pay. And the thing is, I've been doing this for 12 years. Well, 11 years. I'm going on 12 pretty soon. And I keep thinking, like, why haven't I gotten that quote unquote big break? Why hasn't my shot come up yet? And it's one of those things. It's like, am I, is this it? Is this where it's supposed to be? And you start getting consumed. You, the general you, me, I start thinking personally, like, is this it? Is this where I'm going to be forever? And I think it's can be disheartening because you see people constantly around you, especially like when you've been in this as long as I have. When I started, I was doing these like 1 minute play festivals, and I've seen several people from that like just explode onto the scene, and now they're pretty famous. And here I am working consistently for 11 years, and I'm not where I want to be, which is, I want to be a series reg, or maybe not a lead in a film, but a supporting lead would be cool. And I think to myself, like, well, is this it? Am I going to be just that guy? And to be honest, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think one of the things that I want to get off my chest is it can get very, very I could be very pessimistic. Like, I mean, anybody can when you've been putting in work for so long, and then all of a sudden, boom, you see someone else get this part that you were going out for. Then you look at their IMDb and they have like one credit, or they the breakdown totally says it's you on paper. It could be, a stout Latino with bald head and gray beard and everything, like wearing a green shirt, and then they cast someone in a totally different ethnic background. And the other way around. I've been that guy who wasn't what the breakdown said, and I've booked the role. And it can get disheartening, and it may feel like, okay, well, maybe this thing is never going to pan out, but maybe it will. And I think one of the things that we can do in any endeavor that we're in, for me, I know I'm primarily talking about acting, is think about where we're at in this current moment. Mind you, I've been doing this for 11 years and I've been working consistently, but the last, we all know the last 5 years have been very tough for everybody. We had the pandemic. Then for actors and writers, we had the strike, and the strike, even though the strike was 8 months, so most of 2023, the impact of the strike, carried over into 2024 and into 2025. So there wasn't a lot of work, and it may have seemed grim for the industry, but for me, as a human being and as a man, I have to see, okay, maybe this isn't where I'm supposed to be, but maybe it is. maybe it is exactly where I'm supposed to be at this point in my life. And I have to say that during that time of 2020, I got to spend time with my daughter. I got to witness my daughter's first her first footsteps, her first steps, her first words, and then I got to see my son get born. I got to help my wife with both kids, help her with that duty of the feedings overnight while she got to sleep a little bit. Or I tried to help her sleep, but you know how it is with a kid, nobody sleeps, and I was there to help my wife, but I was there to witness things that most dads never got to witnessed before. A lot of the milestones, the crawling, the sitting up for the first time, the first words, first days of school, doctor's appointments. And there's a lot of time where I do think, man, I want to be a series regular. That life changing money would be great. That would have been great last year. That would have been great the year before. But then I also think, well, if I was a series regular between 2020 and 2025, I wouldn't have been in my kids' lives when they were at home. They're both in school now. My son is 4, my daughter is 6. They're at school for a big part of the day, and if I were to book a series reg right now, I think that'd be manageable because they'd be occupied with school. But back then, they needed me around. And in a way, I needed them around to be that dad for them. So I say, I think some of the things that we think about where we think we need to be, maybe we're exactly where we need to be, and it's maybe not it. I still believe that there are opportunities out there. It may be wishful thinking, but one of the things that I will always have that, you can never take away from me is that time I got to spend with my kids in any endeavor, whether it was playing with them, spending all day with them. I got to work a couple of days out of the year, and that helped us for a few months. My wife worked. She got to work from home for the longest time, and now, she's back in the office, and I think, who knows, stay tuned. Maybe my big break, the big life-changing gig may come up in the next few months, but if you're out there and you're feeling like, you know what, is this it? Is this where I'm supposed to be? I get it. I'm 42 years old, and I start thinking about all these things with like not working, like on top of like me wanting to hit that ultimate goal as a series regular or a lead in a film. We start thinking about money, like, okay, I'm 42, and am I gonna sound like that guy who's, in the band that says we're gonna make it, the band's gonna make it, baby, just trust me, the band's gonna make it. But you know what? The band was just taking a little bit of a break. We're finding ourselves. We're finding that nurturing that we needed for our art to create the music that we needed to make. And then sometimes there's going to be some seasons in life where we don't have the work that we want, but what we're gaining is experience to benefit that work later, that's going to feed and fuel that fire that will give us the energy and the wisdom and the inspiration to create the best work that we do, whatever it is. Whether you're an architect, you're a teacher, whether you're a bus driver, even, like, it doesn't matter. Take these seasons where it's slow, and don't think that maybe this is it. This is over. I need to give up on the dream. I don't ever give up on the dream. Just reassess where you're at with the dream, and move on, and keep working and find the beauty in where you're at in the moment. That's the biggest advice: is just find the beauty of where you're at this moment, because you're never gonna get these moments back. You're never gonna get that. Like for me and my kids, I'm never gonna see them as babies anymore. I mean, I picked up my daughter the other day, and I was like, "Wow, you're a little girl now. Like you're not a tiny little baby." And it's crazy how time flies by. So don't dwell on what you don't have or where you're not at in your life. Trying to chase the big dream, the big dollars, and you're going to miss these beautiful moments. Don't miss those moments. I know that was just a bunch of rambling, but that's what I'm going to be doing. I have the time, I have the camera, and even if it's just one or two of you watching, I have at least one or two ears and eyes to watch and listen to. So thank you. Hit that subscribe button. I don't know what the call to action is. Hit that subscribe, share. But if you know someone that really needs to hear this message, if they're feeling like, well, they're stuck in, current situation, just send them this video, and hopefully it helps out. And I'm here, Papa Chapa, Jorge Chapa, and this is my channel, and we'll see where it goes from here. Thank you for watching.